Isn't that just the sweetest pop-up card you've ever seen? All that holiday charm, but no mess, no disappearing candy, and definitely no frosting in your hair. Building a real gingerbread house is a sweet tradition, fun, festive, and just a little bit chaotic. But this pop-up version, it has 3 bouncy tiers and looks like a mini gingerbread wonderland. Holiday cards are always fun, but this one has a twist. It springs to life in layers and folds flat when you're done. Hello, everybody. Jennifer Maker here. It's a beautiful day to make something joyful, clever, and full of holiday cheer. To make this pop-up card, I layered colorful sheets of cardstock to build 3 sturdy tiers. Each one adds a new piece to our festive gingerbread scene. And the magic? A clever fold between each layer that works just like a spring. It lets the card pop up when you open it and fold flat when you're done. I'll show you exactly how to make that springy fold step by step, so your card has depth, dimension, and serious wow factor. You can grab the free design files and written instructions at jennifermaker.com/772. And if you're new to cutting machines or the software, don't worry. I'll walk you through prepping the cut files right after we assemble the card together. But first, let me show you how to make a full-size card, as well as this adorable mini version you can cut on a small cutting machine. First, lay your cut pieces face up in organized piles by tier and layer order. Make sure the house's first layers match, then flip the first layer face down beside the second layer. Working quickly, add craft glue all over the back of the first layer. I like to use the precision tip on my Barely Art glue to get close to the edges and around the cutouts. Flip the second layer face down onto the first, aligning the edges and cutout areas. Press down and smooth to adhere. Then use a brayer to keep the pieces flat and secure. Flip the layers, wipe away any excess bits of glue, then allow the pieces to dry. The textured surface of glitter cardstock adds to the dry time, so be patient and reseal any edges with craft glue if needed. Then lay the glued layers face down and the next layer face up. Just like before, add craft glue to the back of the second layer. Then flip the third layer face down on top, align the pieces, and press down and smooth to adhere. Flip the layers, wipe away any excess glue, and allow the pieces to dry. And once more for the final piece. Arrange your layers. Add the glue, then align and secure your pieces. Set aside your assembled layers to finish drying. Then repeat these steps to assemble your card's remaining 2 tiers. Our 3 card tiers are ready. Now it's time to add the pop-up element. Start with the tree tier face down. Fold its right side inward along the innermost crease line and use a scraper tool to sharpen the fold. Find the next crease line, fold the cardstock away from you and sharpen it. Fold in again along the next crease line, then out along the final crease line. Now you have a springy accordion fold that lies flat with pressure and pops up when you release it. Fold the left side the same way. The tree tier goes on top of the house tier, so lay the house face up. Hold down the left accordion fold and add glue on top. Flip the tree tier over and adhere the glued fold flush with the house's bottom right corner. Open the tiers along the attached accordion fold, then add glue on top of the unattached accordion fold. Flip the tree tier over once again, and this time adhere the glued fold flush with the house's bottom left corner. Now your trees are connected to the house with a fun pop-up for extra dimension. You can add the gingerbread people on top, using the same steps to fold and attach the sides. Your gingerbread house pop-up card is ready. For the joy-sized pop-up card, start by assembling the 3 tiers the same way as the full-size card. Then, lay the assembled tree tier face down. Take the 2 longer side pieces for the tree tier and fold along the crease lines in opposite directions to make an accordion fold. Add glue to the top of one of the folded side pieces. Flip the glued piece over and align it with the tree tier's bottom right corner, with the long folded edge flush on the right side. And adhere the other folded piece in the bottom left corner. Then glue the tree tier's attached sides to the house tier. Now do the same thing to fold and adhere the gingerbread people tier's shorter side pieces, then adhere them to the tree tier. The joy version of your gingerbread house pop-up card is ready. You now have an amazing gingerbread pop-up house for spreading some holiday cheer. If you'd like to make the easy-to-assemble envelope included in my design files, follow along with my How to Make an Envelope tutorial to assemble it. Then just slip the big card in the envelope and mail it to a friend or loved one, but plan for extra postage since your pop-up card is a bit heavy. You can even hand deliver the joy version for a special surprise. The best part of a gingerbread house is decorating it, right? If you'd love to personalize your pop-up card's house, trees, or gingerbread people, I can show you how in my advanced program at jennifermaker.com/advance. In this step-by-step workshop, you'll learn how to add festive details to your card, color every piece your way in Cricut Design Space, and truly make it your own. But that's just the beginning. The advanced program is where I teach you the skills and techniques to confidently customize all kinds of Cricut projects. You'll get guided workshops, helpful toolkits, and early access to my fully searchable library filled with bonus files, templates, and creative resources. And if you love crafting with others, you'll be right at home in our private member community. It's full of friendly makers, monthly challenges, and shared inspiration to keep you growing. Enrollment may or may not be open when you see this, so don't wait. Visit jennifermaker.com/advance to learn more and sign up today. I'd love to welcome you in. All right, so if you need help cutting these out on your Cricut, let me show you how that works right now. First, download my free gingerbread house pop-up card design at jennifermaker.com/772. To find it, look for libraries in the red bar at the top, then click either Get a Password if you don't yet have one, or click Enter the library. Search the page for 772 and click the link to download the cards. If you're not sure how to do this, visit jennifermaker.com/svgs to learn how to download and unzip files. In the SVG folder, you'll find score and no-score versions of my card and a matching envelope to cut on a cutting machine. The score versions require a scoring stylus or single scoring wheel to create smooth lines for folding. If you don't have a scoring tool, or if you prefer dashed cut lines, you can use the no-score versions instead. I have included score and no-score versions of my matching envelope design as well. You'll also find an SVG folder with a card to cut on the Cricut Joy. It follows a slightly different assembly process, which I've also provided in this tutorial. There is a DXF folder with cut files and a PDF folder with versions you can print and cut by hand. Here is how the no-score version of the pop-up card SVG looks on my canvas in Cricut Design Space. In the Layers panel, click the arrow beside the Designs group to reveal all the layers. There are 3 tiers for your pop-up card: the house tier, the tree tier, and the gingerbread people tier. Each tier has 4 layers with different areas cut out to create colorful designs. Ungroup the design to work with the elements separately. If you're cutting the score version of the pop-up card, follow the steps from my scoring tool tutorial to adjust your file. To change the color of a piece to match the cardstock you'll cut it from, select the piece in the Layers panel, click the color box next to Operation, and choose a new option. Layer order matters for this project. If they're out of order, the cutout designs won't be the colors we want. So write down your layer colors from top to bottom so you have them later, even if you use the same colors I do. Your project is ready to cut. Make sure the correct machine is selected in the top right. Click Make. On the Prepare screen, make sure the material size matches the material you're using. I'm using 12 inches by 12 inches for everything. If you'd like to learn how to combine mats of the same color to save time and materials, visit my DIY lollipop holders tutorial. Select the first mat so it loads first on the next screen and click Continue. On the Make screen, set the base material for your first mat. I'm using glitter cardstock with more pressure for cleaner cuts for my white mats. If you don't see a certain material in your materials list, click on Browse All Materials. Enter the material's name in the search box, select the correct option from the results list, and click Done. Place your first mat's cardstock face up on a green standard grip machine mat. Use a brayer to make sure it's fully adhered. Check that your fine point blade is clean and in the clamp. Press the flashing Load/Unload button to load the prepared mat into your Cricut. Press the flashing middle button to begin cutting. When it has finished cutting, don't unload the mat right away. Gently lift a corner of the material to make sure the cuts went all the way through. If not, press the middle button again to make a second pass of cuts in the same spots. When the cuts are complete, unload the mat, flip it over onto your work surface, and roll it back to release the cardstock. Be careful when removing intricate pieces. Use a spatula to carefully remove any intricate parts and a weeding tool to pop out any small stuck pieces. If you have trouble with any of your cuts, check out my Cricut tips and tricks for cleaner cuts. Glitter can stick to the blade and cause trouble on your future cuts, so I recommend cleaning it after each sheet of glitter cardstock. You can take the housing and blade out of the clamp and clean it with an alcohol wipe, or press down on the plunger and carefully poke the blade into a ball of aluminum foil several times. Be careful, it's sharp. When I get to my other mats, I'll change my settings to medium cardstock with more pressure for both regular cardstock and foil mats. Then continue cutting my pieces the same way. And now the gingerbread house is ready to assemble. Isn't this just such a super cool pop-up card? I love how it pops up when you open it, and it's so easy to display. Just stand it up on your mantle or shelf or anywhere you want a little extra holiday cheer. Plus, it's so easy to create a themed card by swapping out the cardstock colors. I use traditional red and green Christmas colors, but you can use your family's favorite colors to create a mini version of your home. And unlike real gingerbread houses, there is no risk of collapsing walls or someone sneaking off with any of the gumdrops. And if you want to customize your card with different gingerbread people, holiday outfits, decorations, or even your own home colors, you'll love the workshop and extras in my advanced program. I'll link it below so you can check it out. Now, do you need a Cricut cutting machine for your card's tiny cutouts? I do a regular giveaway over on my blog at jennifermaker.com/Cricut giveaway. Get all the details and enter for your chance to win. If you have any Cricut or craft-related questions that you think I can help you with, let me know. Leave your question below this video or ask over in our awesome Cricut Crafters group at jennifermaker.com/Cricut Crafters. And as always, I would love to see your finished gingerbread card. Share a photo over in the group or tag me on Facebook so I can cheer you on. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.
Somebody just walked in on us gingerbreading, like, hey, what are you guys doing? And you were like, gingerbread.
We're making a gingerbread house.